If you look the work in a way, I'm constantly doing works on paper. That's kind of drawing, and then on canvas I'm doing collage. Yeah, maybe I think, but also majorly because I'm more interested in movement. Then I also think constantly moving. For example, from Kisumu, then at one point I was in Limuru, and then Nairobi. So the thing about movement also, I think I'm talking about the movement that it's more of outward movement, but also I'm internalizing it by me being the person who was there and who was doing this constantly. And for example, watching my father move from Kisumu then to Nairobi, leaving us behind, for example. So it's like memories, what I do. I think getting into this new world was like you needed to know why you are creating. You are not just creating. You needed to be aware of what you're creating. Why are you creating it? For example, possibly where do you want to show it? Who do you want to show it with? Or is it for sale? Is it not for sale? No, there's a lot that comes with being in that world or being in this world. Technically, it's what story are you trying to pass around, or is it even a story, for example, or why is it important, for example? Like I said, I'm more interested in human movement, and I've always been interested in the way change or mark making. So I'm constantly looking at the environment and the environment here now I mean where people live or how people live. And so I'm dealing with two opposites. So in one series I'm dealing with the environment itself, removing the people, and in another series I'm now putting the people minus the environment. So to look at these two extreme sides and to try to understand, for example, what happens when there is no movement but everything changes, for example, or what happens when there is no change but the body moves. So I'm more interested in the dynamics of change, even when we see like nothing is changing, and to even notice, for example, from the environment, or notice from people, even when they themselves don't feel like there was change. To focus on one thing and then think it deeply. At the same time, the work grows, because now the story becomes, a bit direct. Like you're already telling the audience where to look, or how they look at the work, for example. So I think it's more, it's growing, and at the same time thinking deeply about the work. I think my personally my biggest role would be documenting, or in other words, I'm writing a story, and so whoever is going to read it, it's up to them the way they consume the book. But my biggest role is to document this time. to document it in a way that I understand it first, for the bigger general to be able to understand. Just like any writer, I'm just making a mark, yeah, with no, without necessarily kind of being forced to. So I'm just doing it.